Hi everyone, in this video we're going to be discussing density and weight. Density is how much mass per unit of volume. The formula we're going to be using is density is equal to mass over volume. Weight is the amount of matter an object contains. Anytime you hear the word weight, you want to think of mass and vice versa. And we're still going to use the same formula, density is equal to mass over volume. Let's look at this example. A hemispherical tank is filled with water and has a diameter of 10 feet. The water weighs 62.4 pounds per cubic foot, which is the total weight. What is the total weight of the water in a full tank to the nearest pound? So we have a hemispherical tank, which is going to be half of a sphere. So you're going to look on your reference sheet for the volume of a sphere, which is 4/3 pi r cubed, but you're going to take half of it because it's hemispherical. Then if the diameter is 10, we want to use the radius, so we want to cut 10 in half, so it's going to give us 5. So we're going to do 1/2 times 4/3 pi, 5 cubed. And we're going to get 261.8. Now we want to know what the total weight is. So we're going to use our formula D is equal to m over v. Density is equal to mass over volume. So our density is going to be our 62.4 pounds per cubic foot. That's how much it weighs. That's our density. But our total volume is what we just got, our 261.8. Now, because that's a proportion, we can put 62.4 over 1 and cross multiply. So we can do 62.4 times 261.8. We're going to get 16,336.32, and that's going to be our answer. So we're using the volume formula, and then we're using our density is equal to mass over volume formula. Let's look at the next problem. A machinist creates a solid steel part for a wind turbine engine. The part has a volume of 1,015 cubic centimeters. Steel can be purchased for 29 cents per kilogram and has a density of 7.95 grams per centimeters cubed. If the machinist makes 500 of these parts, what is the cost of the steel to the nearest dollar? Okay, so there's a lot going on in this one problem. So we're going to go through it slow together. So right away, because I see that word density right here, I'm definitely going to have to use my density is equal to mass over volume formula. So we know that the density is 7.95, and then it tells us that the volume is 1,015 grams. So we're going to put this over 1, and we're going to cross multiply. And we'll end up going to get the mass, which is 8,069.25 grams. Now, the problem with this is it's telling us how much it costs per kilogram, but right now it's in grams, so we want to divide our answer by 1,000 because there's 1,000 grams in a kilogram. So we end up getting 8.06925, and we got to multiply that by how much it costs, 0.29. And then we're going to multiply that by how many we're actually making, which is 500. So we end up getting 1,170.04125. And we want to round to the nearest dollar, so 1,170. Let's look at this next problem. A shipping container is in the shape of a right rectangular prism with a length of 12 feet, a width of 8.5 feet, and a height of 4 feet. The container is completely filled with contents that weigh on average 0.25 per pound per cubic foot. What is the weight in pounds of the contents in the container? Okay. So it says rectangular prism, so that means we're going to have to find the volume, so that's length times width times height. So we're going to do 12 times 8.5 times 4. and that's going to end up giving us 408. Now, because we want the weight, we're going to use our formula. Density is equal to mass over volume. Our volume is our 408, and then it told us that on average 0.25 pounds per cubic foot, that's the density. So we're going to have to end up multiplying 0.25 times 408 in order to get the mass, which is what we're looking for, the weight. So 408 times 0.25 gives us 102, which is our final answer.